Farha from the UN, who will talk about forced evictions, which are a violation of international human rights.
Hi, so let me just begin by telling you who I am and what I do, and I'm going to speak shorter and get you to translate like that. You know? Yes, so my name is Leilani Farha, and I am the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the right to housing. And what that means is my job is to go around the world and make sure that governments are doing what they should do to make sure people don't get evicted, forcibly evicted, that people don't live in homelessness, and that people don't live in inadequate or housing that is in disrepair.
Okay. gabadhan waxay ka socotaa UN ka socotaa waxay meel walba adduunka weynaha ee daamkaasna waxay fiirisaa dadka dawladaha dan inay dadka guriyaal fiican inay ku jiraan oo liya burinin so waxay subinayaan qalad waaye because waa u baahanahay guri oo la dignaani karo so waxaas camal u dagaalantaa.
One of the things that you need to know is that international human rights law actually applies to all governments, city government, provincial government, and the federal government here in Canada.
Okay, so
I said international human rights law applies to all of us.
Okay, so sharciga oo human rights ka meel walba waa madaxweynaha like Canada waa dawladda yar dawladda weyn oo wax walba meel walba joogtid dawlad yar miya dawlad yar weyn miya wax walba inay maxaladaha human sharcigan inay la dhaqmaan waaye.
And international law is very clear that all of you in this room have a right to housing.
So sharcigan oo international human rights ka waa kulligiina hadda waa way ogyihiin sharci waaye inaad guri haysatiin.
It means that things like the forced evictions that you're being subject to are actually contrary to international human rights law. They're against human rights law.
So hadda guriyashan ee qasab inaga bixinayaan waa qalad waa ma la ogol.
And the law is really clear what has to happen in these situations. It's very clear. First of all, forced evictions are considered a gross violation of human rights, which means it's like the worst kind of violation of human rights that can happen.
So, qasabnimo markay kaaga bixinayaan guriga waa kii ooyo xumaa oo human rights ka. So, waxaanay subinayaan waa absolute qalad.
They should never happen. Under international human rights law, forced evictions should not happen, period, ever.
qasab inay guriga kaaga bixiyaan qalad waaye weligoodana waxaan inuu dhaco xataa ma aha.
There is a responsibility on the part of government to make sure that every alternative to the eviction is explored. Every possible alternative.
Dawladda si kasto u joojin karaan inay u joojiyaan waaye.
And my sense is that has not happened here.
No, not at all.
iyadana waxay tahoosaa waa u jeedaa inuu dawlad xataa ina soo dexgalin.
Another requirement is that the community be consulted and the community's solutions be considered and genuinely considered.
anakana fikradeena iyo waxaa rabno inana la dhageysto waaye oo nala caawino sidaa meeshaas ku gaari lahayn.
The community is in fact supposed to be provided with resources to make sure they are able to come up with possible solutions.
In a
Just say
resources,
money, support,
yeah, support support in a provide garayaan waaye. Waa inta waxaan waxaan socdaan dad like ina dahan qofkaan aad tagartaa misana subin kartaa solution kana jiro waxaan subin karnaa
if after that process unfolds, it's decided that something has to happen, that your housing is in such a state of disrepair that it needs to be rejuvenated, you are entitled to be relocated somewhere close by in adequate housing. You are entitled to be moved back to the community into units that are affordable to you based on your income.
hadda xataa hadday rabaan inay guriga inaga saaraan guri oo gurigiina u dow oo u eg camal inay ina degaan waayo oo lacagta qiimada isku mid u dow markaas markay gurigiina hagaajiyaan inay inagu soo celiyaan waaye.
Now, the city or the province or the national level government, federal government may say to you, what can we do? It's a developer, it's a private company, it has nothing to do with us. That is not the case. In international law, when a government allows a private company to implement a human right, like housing, to be involved in an area that is a human rights area, it is the government's responsibility to make sure that the private company upholds international human rights law.
What are the stepping stones government-wise that we should be...
Yeah, so I'm going to get there. So clearly, there is a role for government to be playing here that they are not playing at this point in time. That's clear to me. You want to translate? I don't know how much translation.
Yes, it's very good.
You're good? Okay. So the question was, what do we do with all this international human rights law? Well, it is true that it is only as good as we organize around it. It's not different from what Daniel, the lawyer, was saying before. We need to figure out how to use international law to pressure the right people to start engaging in your issues.
So sharciga ina isticmaalno waaye oo aad dadkan push gareen aad ahno waxaan qalad waaye human rights aa leeyahay ina guri na siisiin waaye oo noo soo codisiin ama guri oo fiican gurigeena noo hagaajiya saas inaad dahdiin waaye inaa push gareeno waaye inaa kulligeena isla imaano dadkan push gareeno kulligeena isku shay ka hadalno aad ahno marabna inaa guurno anaka waxaasa u joognaa.
My job is to help you hold the governments accountable. So we can work together, and I will work with Josh and others, George and whoever, all of you, to figure out a strategy. One of the tools that I have is, this is going to sound a bit lame at first, but I can write a very formal legal letter to the different levels of government saying that they are not meeting their international human rights obligations in Herongate. The government is required to respond to my letter. It gets published in the United Nations human rights system, which means every country in the world will learn what's happening in Ottawa, in Herongate, and what the governments are not doing to protect you.
So iyada waxay xaanshiya noo qoraysaa oo qof walba arki kara oo dowladda ay u qoray dowladana qasab ay ka tahay inay soo jawaabaan as to why guriyaal fiican ay noo dejinaynin so magaala United Nations kadana arki karo wadan walba Canada, Ottawa, Herongate maanta inaa dad guriyaal laga bixinayo ee dowladana caawinaynin.
I do think that we should be very honest with what's happening in Herongate. Timbercreek is not just a Toronto-based corporation. Google Timbercreek. Timbercreek is a massive multinational corporation. They have under their control billions of dollars of assets. Billions. This is a very powerful developer. They're not even a developer. They call them an asset management firm. They are big financial players. So we have to know who we're going against here.
And they have to know who they're going against.
Of course, the people have the power.
Timbercreek waa dad oo lacag fara badan haysto. Okay, so ina ogaatiin waaye ininka anaka waynaga bixinay meelo badan ee waxaan subiyeen ee lacag ay haystaan waxay jecel yihiin wax buildamo weyn waxay jecel guriyaal weyn inay dhisaan ee dadka lacag ka subiyaan waa multi-billion waaye company ma aha regular rental ma aha minto arki jirteen way ka weyn yihiin bigger than minto waa yarihiin waa Timbercreek big okay.
But the reason I think that's important is because when you're thinking through your strategy, you have to know who your opponent is. And your strategy has to be big and powerful too, which you can do. You know, between us, we know every single housing advocate in this country. I know them all. I know the Minister of Duclos. I know provincial people. I know city people. And so do many of you in this room. And we have to go big. I can only say that to you. The strategy has to be solid and big.
Okay, so waxa subinayno adarabtiin ina raayno waa ina kulli wax weyn ina subino waaye wax la maqlin au bahana ina subino.
One second. I travel the world and I see this globally, everywhere. There is no bigger power right now in the world than real estate developers and people who invest money in real estate. They are the biggest powers globally, and sadly they are here in Herongate.
So waxay tiri dadka meel walba adduunka dan way ka aragtaa waxaan guriyaal la dudumiyo oo dad oo lacag ka suubiyo hadda guri waxay ka dhisayaan deerabaan 1 million ee ka dhisayaan meel lacag dadkaas oo lacagta haysto kuwa la yacabsado kuwaas waaye. So ina ogolaana ma aha.
It's for that reason that you need to take a strategy that is multi-pronged. You have to use the law, and you have to use community organizing, and you have to use political lobbying. For me, there's no doubt. You have to come at this from every angle. And lastly, I'll just say I am committed to helping you in whatever ways that I can. There's no other way forward because you have human rights violations at your doorstep.
So sidee noo caawin karto way noo caawinaysaa laakiin meel walba hore gadaal dhinac Timbercreek inaan ka galno waaye like meel walba.
So I think this gentleman.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Questions?
Yeah, when you say that you publish these findings at the internet at the UN,
Yeah.
can you include both the social media campaign so that other countries can know of it, and the name of Timbercreek so that other countries can know what they're doing here?
Yes, so the way a communication works is I really just lay out the facts of the situation as I understand them to be. So I'll work with you as a community to find out the facts, and then I would just write them. And so we would name Timbercreek for sure. We would not normally reference a social media campaign, but we do that in other ways. So I have a Twitter, a very large Twitter following, and I would make it public once I was able to, that the communication had gone out, and then I would reference your social media campaign. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.